Hey folks, this is App Shocker. This is the 5th video on WatchKit App Programming with Swift. Furthermore, this is the 3rd episode on how to program a guessing game with WatchKit. Today, we're going to continue with our guessing game and we will add the following elements and mechanisms to it. A. We will add a counter that will make sure that our player can only guess 3 times in order to win the game. And if he or she counted wrong more than 3 times, the player obviously loses the game. B. Moreover, we will create a label indicating the amount of clicks left to the user. By doing this, we keep the user informed about how many guesses he is away from losing the game. And C, we will change the string of the hurry up label from hurry up to you won in case the player guessed the correct city where the world's tallest church is located. In general, please bear in mind that in this video we will take care of the scenario when the player guesses the correct city. This means that we will only focus on creating the logic for one button, meaning the home button. As a result, we will continue writing the code. Therefore, let's just click on the tuxedo icon here. And please make sure that you will write the code in your second interface control Swift class. You can see it up here because this is the place where the music plays. So, as I told you previously, what we need is a counter. So, as a result, let's just create a variable that will deal with the counting logic. So, let's just go up here. Let's just add a variable, meaning let us write down bar, and let's just call it the counter. And this counter is of type n is integer. And furthermore, we will assign 3 to this integer. Hang on, here something is not quite right. As you can see, this I of integer has to be in capital letters. So now everything is working fine. So remember, we will just give our player 3 chances to guess the correct city. As a result, we will just write down here 3 and we will assign these 3 chances to our the counter integer. So furthermore, what we have to do is, in order to make sure that this integer is also displayed correctly to the user, we need to have something that can display this integer, obviously, which in this case will be a label. So let's just go back to our second interface controller. Here, let's just close this here. Here we have our hurry up label, we have our timer here, and we have our 4 buttons down here. As a result, let's just create a label to it. Let's just drag and drop it down beneath the timer. Okay, so in this timer, we will just write down clicks left. So let's just go back to our class by clicking on the tuxedo icon. Let's just create a variable for this label here. Let's just put it down here. So let's just call it clicks left label. However, now we have to think about how are we going to use those 2 variables in order to indicate to the user that he only has 3, 2, or 1 clicks remaining for guessing the correct city. So, as I told you previously, the correct city or the correct option in this case is the home button. So this button here. As you remember, the interface builder also offers us an IB action function. And this is the place where we're going to work with our two variables. So let's just create an IB action function down here. Remember, here you have to select the action. Well, let's just call it function. So let's just create some space here. Good. So remember, we need to have our counter in order to display the amount of clicks left. Let's just copy paste the name of the variable from here, just place it here. So this is the variable we're going to work with later. And in order to do so, we also need to have a string variable that displays the amount of clicks left via using this integer variable, meaning the counter variable down here. So let's just create a string variable. Let's just write down var counter string. It's of type string. And now we're going to use something that may not be familiar to you, which is called a string format specifier. If you want to know more about how to use string format specifiers, just click on this link here displayed in this video and you will go to our website where we wrote an article about how to use them. There you can find more information in detail how to use them, what kind of string format specifiers are available to you, and so on. So, however, for this moment, we will use the following, namely string format. And here you see we have the selection of different methods here. I'll just create this here. And let's just make sure that we will use the correct one. So here we'll write down the string literal we want to use, meaning clicks left. And now here it comes. Here we will enter our string format specifier, which in this case is %d. So, and this %d here represents the variable that will follow after this comma here, and the string formatter will place the variable that will come later on here, and we will retrieve a string variable that will display clicks left, colon, and the integer that we retrieve from this. Here, this is the variable we need. I just copy paste it here. Remove the dots here. Good. And now also get rid of this here. So, as you can see, here it works. Now, this is the string we will be working with, and we will display this string here in our label. So, as you can see, this is the string formatter, and this is the parameter, and here you just place your string literal. You use a string format specifier, which is %d, which stands for an integer. And what is the type of this variable? Ta-da! It is an NS integer. So, and this is the variable that will be displayed here. And later on, we're going to retrieve the string literal as a variable, displaying clicks left, colon, the amount of clicks left as an integer. So now we have managed up to now to create a string variable that holds the information for our clicks left label. But now we have to set this information to our clicks left label. So let's just copy paste the variable name clicks left label, which is this label here, down here. And let's just use the setter, which is set text. And now here it comes. What do we do here? What are we going to use as a string? This here, the counter string. Place it here, and boom, here. Here we're done with displaying the amount of clicks left to the user by using this setter here. Okay, furthermore, I told you we also need to take care of displaying to the user that he really won the game. So we will just display this button here in green. So remember, we need to have a variable for this button here, but we haven't created any up to now. Now it's the time to do that. So As you remember, just click on Control, drag and drop the variable up here. Let's just name it button. So now we have our variable. Just copy paste the name here. Let's just go down here, place it here, and set background color to green. So I think you already know this class, this UI color class. Just take a closer look at that later on. If you want to change the color of your button to another one. So now we're done with setting it to green. So, and finally, what we also wanted to do is we wanted to change this label here, the text of this label, meaning hurry up exclamation mark, to U1. So this is also what we have to do. So remember, we also need to get the variable of this label here, which is the hurry up label, which is up here. Copy paste this here. Let's go down here and do set text. And now here it comes. What kind of text? U1. So, and that's basically it. So just to summarize what we did, we created a variable, a string variable that holds a string literal that says clicks left and the amount of clicks left retrieved from an integer variable, which is up here. So furthermore, we made sure that this variable, this string variable, is used to be displayed in this clicks left label, meaning this here. Furthermore, we set the button, meaning this button here, to green. And furthermore, we also changed the text of this hurry up exclamation mark label to U1. Okay, now let's just compile this app and let's just check out whether we did everything correctly. Let's just clean everything. This is something what I do on a regular basis, just clean your project before recompiling it so that we don't have any older artifacts or fragments from different compilation processes. Okay, let's just open up our simulator and there you go. So we have our first interface control. Now we click on play the game. And now you see we have a little problem here. We cannot see the fourth button correctly, so we have to take care of that later on. But let's just do something. Let's just click on the button. And there you go. So you see we changed the button. To be precise, we changed the color of the button to green. And furthermore, we also displayed the string of this clicks left label to clicks left : 3. However, as you see, we have a problem here. So first, remember, if you just check out the code down here, after having set the color of the button to green, we also wanted to display the string U1 in this hurry up label, which is this here. But now we have a problem, meaning, as you can remember, the app also changed this label to the text of the label to "you were too slow," which is actually illogical and incorrect in this case because remember, you won the game. So you don't have to change the string to "you were too slow" because actually you weren't slow, you did everything correctly during the time remaining. So this does not make any sense, changing the original string to "you were too slow." Furthermore, what actually happened is the app overrode our newly set text, meaning U1, to "you were too slow." So we have a different problem here too. As you can see, we also have another problem, meaning the timer was still counting down from 20 to 0, which also doesn't make any sense because if you won the game, then the timer doesn't have to count down anymore because you did your job. So you selected the correct city, then the timer doesn't have to count down anymore. So this is also something that we have to take care of. So you see, we have to take care of 3 things actually. We have to take care of this label here. We have to take care of the timer. And furthermore, we have a problem with this clicks left variable here because as you remember, here we have an integer that represents the counter, so the amount of clicks left, which was set to 3 from the beginning. But logically speaking, you have a problem indicating 3 here because you already clicked on the button, so you used 1 click from the previously set 3 ones. So you have to actually subtract 1 from the 3 because you have just clicked on 1 button. So the app should display 2 instead of 3. So these are the 3 things we still have to implement. As a result, let's just stop the app here and let's go back to our code. Let's just start off by correcting the problem with the integer, meaning we have set the counter to 3 from the beginning, which is correct, but now we have to take care of that we will only display the amount of clicks left to the user, which in this case is we use the counter and we have to subtract 1 from the amount of clicks left from here. So in Swift you have an operator which is the subtract and assign operator, meaning minus equals sign 1. So just to summarize, here this variable from the beginning is set with 3. So here comes 3, and logically, because you clicked and you used 1 click from your 3 clicks, you have to subtract 1 here, and then you have 2 left, and you will use these 2 clicks as a string in this string variable later on. And then those 2 clicks will be displayed in the label via clicks left label dot set text. Good. So now we solved one problem. The second problem was that we couldn't make sure that the hurry up label is not changed to you were too slow. We actually wanted to display this string to it, meaning you won. So, and remember, where does this string come from? So you were too slow comes from this function here, meaning the time fired function. And remember, who is actually executing this function here? Let's just check it out here. Yeah. So you remember, this is the first function we wrote, which is actually the one that takes care of the timers. And this is actually the very first function that is called when you initiate the second interface controller. So, and here's the moment when we actually start the second timer, meaning here, this done timer is the one that will execute via this selector time fired function the process of changing the text from hurry up exclamation mark to you are too slow as soon as we get to 0. So in order to change this here, let's just make sure that we actually stop every timer, because remember, we not only have the problem with this time fired function, we also have our third problem, meaning that we also had here our timer counting down from 20 to 0, although it shouldn't count anymore. So as a result, let's just stop every timer that is running in the background. So in this case, what do we have? We have our timer, which is called the timer. And this class also has a function which is called stop. So very easily we stop the first timer. However, now we also have to take care of our second timer, which is this one here. And now here we have to do it via invalidate, because we set up this timer in a different way than with the second one. And this is how you do it. You stop the first timer via .stop and the second one with invalidates. And now none of the timers will do their job anymore as soon as we click our own button. So this is basically it, what we have to do in order to fix the problems illustrated previously. So let's just clean the project. Let's just recompile it and let's take a look at what it looks like now. So now we have our guessing game. Play the game. So you see the counter is counting down. Let's just click on And now you see that the timer stopped, which is good. And the button is set to green, which is also pretty good. And we also have taken care of the correct amount of clicks left, which is in this case 2, very good. And as you can see, the time, 20 seconds passed. So the other timer didn't fire this time fired function. And we still have our string here, our U1 string here that we wanted from the very first beginning. So everything works perfectly. However, our last problem remaining is our appearance here. So you see the 4th button down here is still not displayed correctly. Let's just take care of that too. Let's just stop the app here and let's just make everything a little slimmer, meaning our buttons a little slimmer. You can also do it in a different way. You can also use different mechanisms, other layout mechanisms in order to administer all UI elements with other functions or with all layout mechanisms and so on and so forth. But for our demonstration purposes, we'll just do it very quickly. So let's just compile the app. Let's click on play the game. And voila. So you can see that we can see our 4 buttons. So if you click on a little later, everything is working fine. So, and this is it up to now. Now you know how to program the logic for the correct selection made by the player. This means that if the player clicks on the button, you know what to do. So you just have to write down this logic down here in this method. However, as you saw, we still have to take care of the remaining buttons here, meaning the New York button, the London button, and the New Delhi button, which are the ones that are not correct. Hence, you will know more about this, meaning how to program a logic for taking care of the incorrect buttons in the upcoming tutorial, meaning in the episode number 4 of this guessing game tutorial series. Therefore, if you like this video, leave thumbs up down there. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel in order to see more tutorials. Like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and don't forget, stay tuned.